Hi,
afternoon.
Karen. I hope you are too.
I am, thank you.
My
The SAT.
calendar said it's Judge Law, and my heart went to beating hard. But it's you. I'll change it.
Yeah, it's me today.
Okay. Your reset date is April the 28th.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Judge, let me introduce myself to you because I'm new here. I'm ASG Stephanie G. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Johnson. Welcome aboard. Glad to
Thank
have you.
you. Thank you.
Let's see. Courtroom two, whenever you're ready for us.
We start with position number 10, Ms. Herbert.
Okay, let me go ahead and address everyone. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender or conflict defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Um, Good afternoon, Ms. Herbert. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002385E with battery family violence. Ms. Stallworth, good afternoon. Is there a history?
Good afternoon, Judge. There's no prior history. Her recommended level is UJR jail.
Thank you. Who's representing Ms. Herbert this afternoon?
I am Judge. Sorry for the delay.
Afternoon, Ms. Pinto. Just wanted to make sure that that you were with us. Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Tucker. Is this your case?
Yes, Judge. We are asking for a $1,500 good bond in this case with no further violent contact with Aja Banks. The facts allege that when officers arrived, they found both parties fighting in the driveway. The defendant had confronted the victim about being involved with another person and did not like her answer, so she struck her in the face with an open hand, then struck a second time, which started the altercation, so the defendant was determined the primary aggressor. These parties are dating. They had just been living together just for about 2 weeks. So the victim says she's out of town, but they moved into her mother's house about 2 weeks ago because the defendant started a job in Atlanta. She says this has never happened before. She's okay with no further violent contact because she doesn't mind the defendant in the home. It was already a temporary thing. So she will be on the Zoom, does not wish to speak, but she does want no further violent contact. Based on no history, but there was the violence alleged, we're asking for that $1,500 good bond and no further violent contact with Aja Banks.
Okay. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Miss Herbert is 23 years old. She's been in Atlanta going on 3 weeks. She just started a job at Grady Hospital. She graduated high school. She's a certified nurse assistant. This is her very first arrest. Pretrial recommended a signature bond through the jail. We would ask the court for the same, a signature bond through the jail. She is okay with no contact and with staying away from the incident location if the court deems that necessary.
All right, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Herbert. And I see that we have the Spanish interpreter on the line, so I take it that we have someone that's going to need her assistance this afternoon. So the courtroom too, just make note that she's with us.
Yeah, we're waiting on counsel to come on for that case.
Okay,
I
we'll be
had,
with you.
sorry, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I had a couple that required the interpreter, but I'm happy to wait for whenever everyone's ready.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Chancey. Thank you for being here with us this afternoon. We'll be with you as soon as we can. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Who do we have next?
We do number 3, Ms. Bradshaw.
And does Miss Bradshaw have a private attorney? Because she wasn't on our list.
I represent Miss Bradshaw.
Okay.
Oh, good afternoon, Ms. McLean.
Good
McLeod. Good
afternoon.
afternoon. Good afternoon, Ms. Bradshaw. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002393G with simple assault family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. She has one prior arrest, and there's a 2020 first offender out of Gwinnett County for identity theft fraud. The recommended level is level 1.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're recommending a signature bond through level 1 as well. $1,500 to complete a 1-hour anger awareness course while out on bond, to have no further contact with Jasmine King, and to stay away from 1955 Dunlap Ave in East Point. These facts allege the defendant was upset from a phone call earlier, started to yell at the victim, started following her around the house, and was whipping a belt in the air. So she never made contact. So this is a simple assault, not a simple battery. We were unable to get in contact with the Miss King. If we could sound for her just in case, it's Jasmine King.
Ms. King is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. I would need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I will swear you in. Does not appear so. Yes, Ms. McLeod.
Your Honor, my client cannot stay away from that address. That is where she lives with her 16-year-old and her 6-year-old. The alleged victim, who I believe is a niece of my client's, was just there for maybe a week or so. She does not live there. And this was the issue. My client was telling her that she had overstayed her welcome and that she should leave. And she didn't want to leave, so she chose to call the police. My client should not be displaced just because her niece didn't want to leave her house. She is the one who is on the lease at this property, and there is no tenancy that has been established just from staying there for a week. I am not aware of anything on the Georgia law that allows someone who comes to your house and you allow them to stay there for a week to suddenly become a resident. So I'm asking that my client be able to return to her home, Your Honor, because this is her home. You know, it would be a travesty of justice if someone can come and just say, hey, can I come over? Next thing, they're living in your house and want to claim occupancy. Furthermore, my client is unemployed because she's disabled. So essentially, she cannot go back to her own home. We would be displacing her and her 2 minor children. So we are okay with the signature bond, Your Honor, but she should be able to go back to her own home. And nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Bradshaw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Torres Perez Jose.
Give me the number again, please.
23.
Does Mr. Torres Perez require an interpreter?
Yes.
He does, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Chancellor, if you can raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm that you will interpret from English to Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Torres Perez. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002375C with battery, family violence, and battery against a female who is pregnant.
Buenas tardes, señor Torres Pérez. Usted tiene una acusación en el caso 226 CR 0023775C por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar y en contra de una mujer embarazada.
Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
¿Hay antecedentes?
No prior history. Recommended level UJR jail.
No hay antecedentes penales y la recomendación es que reciba una fianza a través de la cárcel.
Good afternoon, Miss Evans Battle.
Buenas tardes.
You're on mute there, Miss Evans Battle.
Good afternoon. Thank you. We did offer a consent bond in this case. I don't know if Miss Maureen was able to receive it.
Nosotros dimos una oferta en este caso, pero no sé si la señora Morin lo ha recibido.
I did not receive it.
Okay.
No, no lo recibí.
All right, then I will go through the case. This incident occurred April the 10th. Officers went to Suburban Woods located at 7,000. Is the location.
Bueno, este incidente ocurrió el 10 de abril y la policía fue enviada a el lugar de Mary Evans o Evans Battle.
Yes.
El número es 7000.
Okay. The victim identified as Renata Lopez appeared to be in distress based on the observation of the officers.
La víctima llamada Renata López parecía estar sintiéndose mal basada en la observación de los oficiales.
She had a busted lip, scratches and lacerations on her hands, legs, and face. And Mr. Perez had bruises to his shoulders, chest, legs, and hands.
Ella tenía un labio cortado y también arañazos, rasguños y laceraciones en las manos, las piernas y el rostro. Y el señor Pérez presentó contusiones en los hombros, pecho, piernas y manos.
The officers noted there was a broken bathroom mirror, there was a gash in the wall, and blood stains on the wall.
Los oficiales de policía observaron un espejo de baño roto, una grieta en la pared y manchas de sangre en la pared.
Each party indicated that the other person had not done anything wrong and wanted to take the blame for the situation. But the officers arrested both parties because they could not determine a primary aggressor.
Cada una de las partes trataba exclamó que no habían hecho nada malo y querían asumir la culpa de la situación. Sin embargo, los agentes de policía detuvieron a los dos porque no pudieron determinar quién era el agresor principal.
This is the first offense for both parties, and for Mr. Perez, our recommendation is for a $2,500 on the battery, family violence, $3,500 on the battery on a pregnant female, which would be a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. We were offering a diversion enrollment and pay the fees, complete the family violence intervention program, no further violent contact, for the case to be dismissed at the end of the terms.
En cuanto al señor Bueno, este es el primer arresto y en cuanto a señor Pérez, la recomendación que dimos fue fijar una fianza de $2,000 por el cargo de agresión con violencia familiar, de 3,500 por el cargo de agresión contra una mujer embarazada, lo que sumaría una fianza de $6,000 gestionada a través de los servicios previos al juicio en el nivel uno y ofrecíamos la inscripción en un programa de desvío procesal que estaba sujeto al pago de las tasas correspondientes y también terminar un programa de intervención de violencia familiar. De todos modos, se exige que se prohíba contacto violento entre ellos y que la causa sea desestimada al término y al plazo establecido.
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Eso es todo, su señoría. Gracias.
Mr. Pat-
Yes, Your Honor. The issue with the Family Violence Intervention Program is that it has always been difficult for my Hispanic clients to find a provider. I've had several Hispanic clients who were asked to do the FVIP, Your Honor, and they have not been able to find a Spanish language provider. So while in theory the proposition by the state sounds fine, I know that it in the past has always been difficult to find a provider.
Give me a moment, please. Con respecto al el programa de intervención de violencia, ha sido dificultoso ya que no se encuentra un doctor de habla español que pueda estar disponible. Em, Aunque la propuesta suena bien, sé que en el pasado ha sido siempre difícil encontrar un médico de habla hispana. Thank you.
So while I do not object in principle to what the state is proposing, I know that there is a potential that it's going to cause a problem for my client.
Bueno, en principio, la Fiscalía está haciendo una propuesta que yo sé bien que existe una posibilidad a que cause un problema para mi cliente.
We are okay with the signature bond, Your Honor, but I'm hoping that if there is a facility that does provide a Spanish language FVIP course, if that could be identified and provided to me and my client. Otherwise, we're fine with everything that's being proposed.
Sin embargo, espero que si existe alguna posibilidad de que se ofrezcan cursos en español, que se puedan identificar y se pongan a disposición de mi equipo y de mí también. De lo contrario, estamos conformes con la fianza bajo firma que se nos ha presentado hasta ahora.
In addition, Your Honor, my client tells me that the alleged victim is pregnant with his child. So, of course, he would like to be able to have contact with her because my understanding is this is his first child.
Mi cliente me ha comentado que la presunta víctima está embarazada con su hijo, por lo tanto, naturalmente a él le gustaría poder tener contacto con ella. Esto se debe, según a lo que tengo entendido, que es su primer hijo.
In addition, Your Honor, this is his brother's home, and my understanding is that his brother or someone else may have called the police, but neither of the parties called the police.
Bueno, esta era la casa del hermano y, o sea, lo inquietante es que una persona o el mismo hermano podría haber llamado a la policía, sin embargo, ninguna de las partes lo hizo. Llamó a la policía.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nada más, su señoría.
Is this Miss Lopez at ACDC?
¿Es esta la señora López de SDC?
Sí. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Who's representing Miss Lopez?
¿Quién la representa?
I represent her, Judge.
Let me go ahead and deal with her as well. Good afternoon, Ms. Lopez. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002366A with battery family violence.
Señora López, usted en el caso 26CR00236668 ha sido acusada con golpes y lesiones y violencia familiar.
Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
¿Hay un antecedentes?
No prior history, recommended UJR jail.
No hay antecedentes y se recomienda una fianza a través de la cárcel.
I take it they're the same facts, Ms. Evans Battle. Is there a recommendation that differs?
It's a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. We were offering a diversion enrollment, paid whatever fees that are associated with it, that she complete the family violence intervention program and no further violent contact with Mr. Perez. I did put as to her that she could not live at the incident location. From the allegations in the warrant, Mr. I think it's
One moment,
Castillo.
please.
Oh.
One moment, please. En cuanto a la señora Evan, la recomendación que planteamos es diferente. Se propone una fianza personal de $3,500 gestionada a través de los servicios previos al juicio en el nivel 1. Se le ofrece la oportunidad de registrarse en un programa de desvío procesal, lo que implica un pago de las tasas correspondientes. La finalización del programa de intervención, casos de violencia familiar y también la prohibición de tener contacto violento en el futuro con el señor Pérez. Al igual, le notifiqué que no podía residir en el lugar donde ocurrió el hecho o los hechos, basándome en los alegatos de la orden judicial emitida contra el señor Pérez.
Hers different in that it's my understanding that she does not live at the address, and I would ask that she not move into that location based on the brother calling police to have her removed.
Lo que entiendo que la situación de ella es diferente porque no reside en esa dirección. Por lo tanto, se solicita que se mude, se vaya de ese lugar, dado que su hermano llamó a la policía para que la desalojaran.
It's good to
Thank you, Judge. Miss Lopez is 35 years old. She's lived in the Atlanta area for about 9 months. She did graduate high school and she works for a cleaning company. As the court heard, this is a cross-defendant situation, and Miss Lopez received numerous injuries in the incident.
One moment, please.
I'm sorry.
You said she's 35 years old.
35, yes.
Mi cliente tiene 35 años, ella terminó su escuela secundaria y también en todo este proceso, en este caso ocurrido, ella ha recibido muchas lesiones. Thank you, go ahead, please.
And the warrant noted that she had a busted lip.
Y también la orden de arresto tiene anotado que ella tiene obtuvo un labio partido.
This is her very first arrest.
Y este es su primer arresto.
And pretrial recommended a UJR through the jail.
Y los servicios previos al juicio recomendó una fianza a través de la cárcel.
And we would ask for UJR through the jail.
Lo que es lo que estamos solicitando ahora.
Okay, nothing further. Beginning with position 23, Mr. Torres Perez, for each charge will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Bueno, comenzando con el señor Torres Pérez, por cada cargo serán $2,000 de fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio en el nivel 1, lo que hace un total de $4,000 de fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio en el nivel 1.
Further violent contact with Ms. Lopez and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Se prohíbe todo contacto violento con la señora López y se prohíbe el uso de drogas ilegales, alcohol y armas.
For position number 16, Renato Lopez will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact or with Mr. Torres Perez, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
I'm sorry, sir. What was the amount of the
$2,000 signature bond through pretrial.
Para Renato López serían $2,000 de fianza bajo firma. Se prohíbe a través de los servicios públicos previos al juicio en el nivel 1, se queda prohibido todo contacto violento con el señor López y se prohíbe el uso de drogas ilegales, alcohol y armas. Y I'm sorry, I couldn't get the last part what you said about the door lock or something like that.
No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Oh, okay, thank you. Se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté libre bajo fianza.
Good luck to you both.
Buena suerte a los dos.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And do we need Madam Interpreter for any other cases this afternoon?
One more, Your Honor.
Okay. Who do we have next?
You do number 7, Mr. Galindo Perez.
Hey, Judge, is South Index clear to leave?
Is there somebody at the South Annex that we need to handle?
It was White.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to interview my client who is 17 years old there. Can someone call me at the jail courtroom 2? South Annex officer, I have been waiting for you.
Yes, we'll call courtroom 2.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Galindo Perez. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002388D with battery.
Buenas tardes, señor Galindo Pérez. Usted ha sido acusado en el caso 26CR002388D por golpes y lesiones.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't think Mr. Galindo Perez needs an interpreter. We spoke fine, so
Señor, necesito un intérprete.
I don't even know if he speaks Spanish. So you don't need
Oh,
an interpreter, correct? You
I don't,
speak English.
I don't need
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does
The
so-
victim might, I don't know if he's here. Could we sound for Neftali Ramirez?
Neftalí Ramírez está presente en la plataforma de Zoom. Por favor, prenda su micrófono y cámara para escucharlo.
This is Jay. I just got a, are you Mr. Silva?
doesn't appear so, Ms. Tucker. Okay, so is there one other person that's going to require an interpreter this afternoon?
¿Hay alguien más que pueda necesitar un intérprete en español esta tarde?
Was dismissed. It is not on document.
Okay, so
We,
I want to make sure that Ms. Kim,
did you get the
so
paperwork?
Ms. Pinto, you don't have any other clients that need an interpreter?
I do not know, Judge. As far as
Okay.
I know, it was only Miss Lopez and Mr. Perez.
Okay. Courtroom 2, are you aware of anyone else that needs an interpreter?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, Ms. Chansey. We appreciate your help this afternoon. You're free to go.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
And for Mr. Galindo Perez, is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 2 cycles total. There are 2 open cases, one out of Barrow County for criminal trespass, possession of a Schedule 1 THC, and possession, manufacture, distribute, etc., a controlled substance or marijuana within 1,000 feet of schools, and also an open case out of Rabun County for possession of a Schedule 1. The recommended level is level 2.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, you did hear he's got 2 open cases, which means he's out on bond on 2 cases already. As well as the facts in this case, we're asking for a $2,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Neftali Ramirez and to stay away from 540 King Arnold Street, apartment 20 in Hapeville. The facts allege that this victim saw the defendant banging on his father's car, so he tried to intervene. So the parties argued, but eventually both parties went back to their respective apartments. Then the defendant came out banging on the victim's door. We did speak with the victim. He said he flicked him off and started acting weird. So the victim tried to punch, the defendant tried to punch the victim, causing a physical altercation. Ultimately, the defendant poked this victim in his eye, causing a blood vessel to show. Like I said, we did speak with this victim. He said that he doesn't really know this kid. He's seen him around. But that on this day he was acting weird all day, walking up and down the stairs, screaming, obviously messing with the car. He says he doesn't really have an opinion on Bond, but he does want him to stay away from him. It's my understanding they both live at this location, but apartment 20 is the victim's location. So if we could have no further contact with Mr. Ramirez and to at least stay away from apartment 20 at this location.
Thank you. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Galindo Perez is 19 years old. He's lived in Atlanta his entire life. His entire family is here in Georgia. He did graduate high school, and now he's a student at Atlanta Tech. And he cuts hair for a living. He's been doing that for about 3 years. He is happy to abide by any stayaways and to have no further contact with the alleged victim in this case. I will note that the only alleged injury is a blood vessel showing, no actual blood or anything like that has been alleged. Pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 2. We would ask for a signature bond. or if the court is not inclined for signature bond, not to exceed 1,000.
All right, will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 5 days of anger awareness, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from their residential location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
What's that again? I'm sorry.
$5,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1.
All right, that's level 14, Mr. Hunter.
Your Honor, you said level 2 at first.
Yeah,
So is
it-
it
Oh,
level
I'm sorry. No, it is level 2. Thank you all.
Okay, yes.
At 14, Mr. Hunter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hunter. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002379F with willful obstruction of law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 12 cycles total, multi-state interaction, 1 out of North Carolina, 6 out of Texas, and 4 out of Florida. There's a 2025 conviction for driving while intoxicated. There also is a 2022 conviction for the same charge. There's a 2021 conviction for grand theft, 3rd degree. There's active warrants, 1 out of Indiana for fraud. Date of that warrant is February the 3rd of 2025, and 1 out of Wisconsin for fraud. Date of that warrant is July the 10th of 2025. Recommended levels level 1.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking for a $2,000 surety bond and stay away from 991 Piedmont Avenue Northeast, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The officers were dispatched to 991, which I believe is a restaurant called Casa Almanera, and the officer attempted to secure the scene and observed and approached a possible suspect vehicle. And the officer notified the defendant that he was detained, and the defendant fled on foot from the suspect vehicle. So that's why we're asking for 2,000 surety bonds.
Okay. Ms. Kim, good afternoon.
Mr. Bunch is 29 years old, and he has been in Georgia for a long time here, almost 11 years, Your Honor. He does not have any child. He graduated from high school successfully, and right now he has been unemployed for the last 3 months, and he's trying to go to trade school for electrical training. But he has been getting support from parents, and we would like to request signature on bond through pretrial level 1 as he is recommended. So he has no other means to pay for the bond. We ask for signature on bond. He has no objection to stay away from that location. Thank you, Your Honor.
Given that he has 2 active warrants, I'm reticent to give him a signature bond. So it'll be a $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hunter.
Your Honor, can you please share a 10% program for him?
That's fine with the court, Ms. Kim.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, number 6, Mr. Farr.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farr. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002389J with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 9 cycles total, multi-state interaction, 1 out of North Carolina, 1 out of South Carolina, and 1 out of Florida. There's a 2021 conviction from South Carolina for possession in Schedule 1 to 5, first offense. There's a 2022 conviction from DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting, a 2017 conviction from Rockdale County for driving without valid license. There's a 2010 conviction out of North Carolina for driving while intoxicated, level 4. There are open cases, 1 out of Daytona Beach, Florida for battery, domestic violence, and 1 out of Dunwoody for theft by shoplifting. The recommended level is level 3, and he was on the RAP services list this morning. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions to stay away from the Kroger at 900 Marietta Highway in Roswell. You did hear he has that open theft by shoplifting. He's got another open case out of, I think she said, Florida. So the risk of reoffense is high here. The risk of flight. He hasn't returned to Florida to wrap up that 2023 domestic violence case. Although the facts in this case are non-violent, we're asking for that $1,500 good bond with the stay away from that Kroger.
Thank you, Ms. Pinto. You're on mute there.
Sorry, thank you. Mr. Farr is 37 years old. He's lived in Atlanta most of his life. His whole family is here in Georgia. He did 2 years of college, and he's currently in school to get a bachelor's in psychology. He pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 3 and wrap services, which I do think could be helpful for Mr. Farr. So we would ask for a signature bond with services.
It will be $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the Kroger on Marietta Highway. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Farr.
All right, 15, Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002365L with theft by shoplifting and simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor, there are 37 cycles total, 35 from the state of Minnesota. There's an active warrant out of Minnesota for an FTA. Date of that warrant is May the 27th of 2025. There's a 2023 conviction for assault, 4th degree. 2 2023 convictions for obstruction of legal process, interfere with peace officer. There's a 2023 conviction for trespassing on critical public service facilities. There's a 2018 conviction for the same charge, obstruction of legal process. There's a 2026 NOLO from the city of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. There's an open case also out of the city of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. And there are 2 2017 convictions for theft by take. And the recommended level is level 3.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened April the 11th of 2026 at the Target. It's located at 375 18th Street Northwest. It appeared that Mr. Johnson came to the location and stayed at the location between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. He was switching tags and altering tags on some speakers. He thereafter concealed them and left the store. He came back around 12:30 that afternoon and took additional speakers and some underwear and concealed those and left the store without paying for them. It was a total amount, it was $209 total, and there were 7 JBL speakers that were taken. The bond recommendation is for $1,000 surety bond. That's what's already been said. We just ask that it remain the same and that he stay away from that location at the 375 18th Street Southwest Target. No alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
I have a simple battery as well on my calendar, Ms. Evans Battle. Is that?
Yes, my notes do say each, so that will be $1,000 each. He did push the so the security at the location. That was the I believe that was the simple battery.
Okay, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Johnson, is 35 years old. He was born in Florida. However, he has been here in Georgia ever since 1993, almost 33 years here in Georgia. He graduated from high school, and Your Honor, he is gainfully employed at Six Flags. However, he's still qualified for public defender services because his income is not high enough. we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial level 3. That's what he is recommended to. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of his history, we ask for maximum $200 cash bond, 100 for each one. I don't think that he can go through the bonding company, so we prefer the lowest possible bond or signature on bond. Thank you.
Each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the Target on 18th Street. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, can it be sheriff's 10%, please?
That's fine with the court, Ms. Kim.
Next item number 12, Mr. Hightower.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hightower. You have been charged in case 26 CR 0023838A with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 6 cycles total, 2 from the state of New York. There's an open case, 26 PI 001198 for possession and use of drug-related objects, theft by receiving stolen property, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. There's a 2018 conviction for criminal possession of a weapon, 3rd degree. And then there's a 2019 conviction, criminal possession of cocaine, 5th degree. There's a 2019 conviction for robbery, 3rd degree, and a 2012 first offender from Rockdale County for 4 counts of robbery. The recommended level is level 3.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge, you did just hear he just bonded out in February of this year, less than 2 months ago, on a felony case. He got a $3,000 cash bond in that case. And then in our case, he was found in a vacant apartment unit. The security recognized him. He's been there before. He's been told not to return. So we're asking for a $2,000 good bond with conditions to stay away from the Peaks Apartments at 2423 MLK Junior Drive in Atlanta.
Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, my client is 33 years old. He has been struggling with his homelessness, residentially challenged. And Your Honor, even though he is working at a construction industry, his income is very, very low because the job has not been stable. So sometimes he makes some money, but most of the times he has not been able to come up with any income. He graduated from high school. Actually, he has a GED, not a high school, I apologize. He completed business management associate degree for 2 years, and he does have 4 minor children, Your Honor. I do understand that he may not be qualified for signature on bond because of the open felony case. We ask for a social worker visit for housing resources and any kind of VHET or drug related program. We ask for the lowest possible bond, hopefully $100 good bond or $10 cash bond.
Okay, it will be a $100 cash bond, social worker visit to assist with housing, and a BHET. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck, Mr. Hightower.
Next item
Thank
number
you,
9,
Your
Mr. Harris.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002386Y with aggressive driving and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
No prior history, recommended UJR jail.
Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 on each charge for a total of 1,000 with conditions no further contact with this victim, Talisa Denley. The facts allege that this defendant was brake checking this victim several times. Then at a red light, he got out of his car, was punching her windows and telling her to stop following him. She was not following him. She was just going the same way. So for those reasons, we would like to ask for the $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with conditions no further contact with Ms. Denley.
Representing Mr. Harris.
I believe it is PD Luisa, Pinto Luisa, Your Honor.
And I would like to note that I had the police add
Hold,
to.
hold on, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. This is just a bond hearing this afternoon. You'll have the right to mount a defense at a later time if you choose. Ms. Pinto, this is position. This is Mr. Harris.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Harris is 44 years old. He's lived in Georgia his whole life, except for 5 years that he spent in the military, serving in the Navy. He's been back full-time for about 14 years. So very strong ties to the community. His whole family is here in Georgia. He has a bachelor's in accounting. This is his very first arrest. And he does have a good defense. He actually contacted law enforcement himself in an attempt to get away from this person. Pretrial is recommended a signature bond through the jail, and we would ask for the same.
Each charge will be $500 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Harris.
22, Mr. Tawasakono.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
22, Tawasakono.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tawasako. No, you have been charged in case 26 CR 002376D with 2 counts of battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. There is one cycle from the state of North Carolina. There's an 09 conviction for driving while intoxicated, level 5. The recommended level is level 1.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at 6500 Area Boulevard in Sandy Springs. The victim is Varsha Gadani, spelled Gadani, her last name, who indicated that she was slapped. There were visible injury to her face. There were cuts to her arms. She indicated that they were sleeping in different rooms in the household, and she locked her bedroom door in order to take a shower. He became upset when he realized that her door was locked. Once she opened the bedroom door, he yelled and grabbed both of her arms and pushed her from the bedroom to the living room, digging his nails into her skin. He was calling her derogatory names multiple times as well. She tried to get her belongings to leave. He hindered that process, and then he was actually gone at the time the police arrived at the location. She's indicated that she has gone from the location, so he is free to return. Our bond recommendation is for a $3,500 signature bond for each count. So that would be a $7,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. No further contact with her, that he complete at least 8 anger management courses. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
I believe wife complaining witness Ms. Varsha Gadani is here. I don't think she is afraid of my client. I would like to request for no further violent contact Mr. Tawa Sokoto is 39 years, and Your Honor, he is actually a fellow lawyer. He has a JD degree, and he's practicing lawyer as a contract. Your Honor, they have been married for about 8 years. And live together. The place is their marital property, and he's not qualified for public defender services. So once he gets released, he will be represented by a private attorney, and we ask for Ms. Varsha Gadani to testify that she's right of my client. We have no objection to the initial on bond. Thank you.
If Ms. Gadani would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Yes, sir. I'd like to
need-
support.
I
I just
need for you to hold on. I need for you to come on camera for me.
Okay.
Right, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
I just want to tell you that I don't feel unsafe. We've been together 15 years. We've had a happy marriage. It wasn't my intention for him to be arrested. I actually called the Sandy Springs Police Department main line just to get information. Specifically, we've both been under a lot of stress and tensions have been high. So I thought I was seeing if I could get like an officer to accompany me to go get some stuff. I thought that was something that officers would do. I didn't know that officers were being called as if it was an emergency. I also didn't know that by talking to them, it would result in an arrest. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. I feel like this has kind of evolved into, it just feels like a big mistake. I guess overall, I just want you to know that I don't feel unsafe. He is a good person. He's not been in trouble. I don't think there's any reason, I don't fear him. I don't think he's a danger to anyone. If it was up to me, I'd want charges to be dropped. I've already tried calling the police department and the jail to figure out like what I can do, if I can pay the bond or how to get information about that. And also, if it helps at all, I'm not in the apartment. I'm going to be with my parents for the next several weeks in North Carolina. So there won't be any kind of issues at all.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you.
For each charge will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay. All right, let's get 13, Mr. Hughes. Yep.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hughes. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002381B with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stolwer?
No prior history, recommended UJR jail.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson?
Your Honor, we're asking for a $4,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, who is Gabrielle Thomas. They share a child together, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons unless prescribed by a doctor, and anger awareness. The facts allege that the officer arrived to the scene and spoke with both the victim and the defendant admitted to biting the victim while they were in a car having an altercation that turned into a physical altercation. The officer observed, I believe the officer said, a distinct bite mark on her arm. Now, they do share a child together. The state thinks it's in their best interest for them to be able to co-parent. So that's why we said no further violent contact. But we do think that $4,000 in a surety bond is appropriate for this instance.
Ms. Thomas, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
How are you?
Good
Um,
afternoon. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on for me 1 second. If you can raise your right hand for me.
okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can place your hand down. I need for you to stay steady for me as you address the court, okay? What would you like to tell the court?
Okay, she told me I could just sit right here so I can do this. Sit.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I'm up here. I was just filing the order that they granted for me to go and get my child today. Um, I believe that Hughes has chosen to make very erratic decisions with the privilege of having our son for the first time of our child's life. He's around 19 months old, and in his care, he has shown to the courts that he does not put that first over the safety for me or my child, which is why I'm currently at a courthouse right now. I have suffered with a fractured arm right now and a concussion after him beating me in my head. And I've also recently went to emergent care at a hospital for that incident as well, right after landing on my flight leaving Hughes. Hughes should not be giving any sympathy because he knew what he was doing out of anger, and no he had no remorse in the decisions that he decided to make, knowing that we had a child we shared together, knowing that my life could have been at risk. I've also had to hold out my leg a lot, like on the highway, just to keep the door open on the highway, fearing for my life to bring attention to the vehicle. He was not only brought in his NCO to try to use a witness that they've come up with some crazy formulated plan that I did all these things to him. He still hasn't shown that he takes any accountability for his actions. So why show that he can be trustworthy to be a father or around his child? Along with that, I am still suffering with a bruised arm, and I have nothing but pictures and videos from the incident with the police report and my ER discharge paperwork. So if it was up to me, I believe that he should not have bail, or it should be at his highest extent. And that's all I have to say, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. I appreciate you being here this afternoon. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objection to no contact and stay away. Your Honor, my client, Mr. Hugh, is 26 years old, and as I have to interview him, he is fit to be a good father. He deserves to be a father. He had full custody because he was proven to be a good father, Your Honor. He is currently residing alone because they broke up. They don't live together. They do share one child. My client has no history whatsoever. He deserves a signature on bond at least one time. He does need a second chance. He is after graduating from high school, he went to Army. He's been serving for the country for the last 7 years, faithfully. And this March 2026, he started his college education, Your Honor. While he's doing that, he's also working as a unit supply specialist to provide financially for his child, Your Honor. This happened on the way to airport. I really don't think my client did anything that deserves such a horrific comment. I mean, she has every right to say anything, whatever she wants, but my client has a good heart, and I believe that he should get a signature on bond and no contact, stay away. Thank you, Your Honor. Third party transfer, definitely.
Okay, will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 5 parenting classes, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from her residential address, third-party transfer of the minor child for visitation, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate it.
Who do we have next?
Position 1, Miss Alexander.
Good afternoon, Ms. Alexander. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002395H with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. She has 4 prior arrests There's a current probation case, 24 CR 003337Y for reckless driving, and the recommended level is level 1.
Ms. Tucker,
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Andre Glass and to stay away from 1893 Jessup Avenue in East Point. The facts allege that this victim had agreed to give the defendant a ride to complete some errands, but while in the car, the defendant grabbed a cup of liquor, threw it in the victim's face, leaving his eyes red and burning. She also pushed him out of the vehicle with her feet. We did speak with this victim very briefly. He didn't share that much, but he said he does want the defendant to leave him alone in all form, all fashion, no further contact, stay away. He wants nothing to do with her anymore. He did let us know he'd be on the Zoom if Mr. Glass wanted to share anything else, if we could sound for him.
if Mr. Andre Glass is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Yes, Ms. Pinto.
Thank you, Judge. Miss Alexander is 42 years old. She's lived in Atlanta her entire life. She has 3 children, ages 17, 9, and 7. Her whole family is here in Georgia. She has her GED and is a certified nurse assistant. She is not with the alleged victim. They don't live together. She's happy to abide by any no contact order. I believe this 1893 Jessup Avenue, though, is her residence, not his. So I would ask that she not be asked to stay away from her own residence. Pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 1, and we would ask the court for the same. If the court is not inclined to do a signature bond, we would ask that it not exceed $1,000.
Signature pretrial level 1, no further contact with Andre Glass, stay away from his residential address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
And I'm sorry, Judge, you broke up for me. I couldn't hear, I heard signature bond. I didn't hear the first part.
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Thank you.
All right, next we got number 18, Mr. Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mitchell. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002368C with 2 counts of battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Your Honor, there are 17 cycles. There's an active warrant from the City of Atlanta for simple assault. Date of that warrant is November the 22nd of 2025. There is a case that's in judicial hold, 19 SC 171643 for forgery first degree, forgery second degree, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. And there are 4 convictions outside of the 10-year period, 3 in 2011 and 1 in 2008. And there are 3 FTAs outside of the 10-year period. The recommended level is level 3.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor, and I think it's significant to note that those outside of the 10-year period of time are violent offenses in which he has convictions for battery with visible harm, simple assault. He does have a theft by deception, possession of marijuana, sale, distribution, as well as a battery family violence. I'm sorry, that was an arrest and no conviction, but he also has an amended charge of battery that was in 2014 was the last case. So this incident happened November the 17th of 2025 at 358 Fraser Street Southeast. The victim in this case is Natasha Colbert, who reported that Mr. Mitchell and she were in a dispute, and he slapped a cigarette out of her mouth. She pushed him once he struck her, and then he proceeded to strike her again in the face. The officer was able to observe bruising and swelling to her face. After he had done that, he hit her several times in the midsection, and he hit her so hard.
I'm sorry, Miss Evans, but I'm having difficulty hearing you. Go ahead. I apologize.
And he hit her so hard that she started to vomit blood. At the time of the incident, he was not present when the officers arrived there. Therefore, he was picked up later on the warrant. Our bond recommendation is for $5,000 as to each count. That'd be a $10,000 total surety bond. And if the court is not inclined to grant a surety bond, we would ask that any type of pretrial services be at level 3, that he stay away from the location, and that there's no further contact, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you.
If Ms. Colbert is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity.
I'm here.
Okay, if you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to come on camera for me.
Okay, give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am. If you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
I want to just say that he wasn't supposed to be in jail. I didn't even initially make the report myself. My sister got involved and she made this report. Now, all of that was said, none of that was true. We got into a heated argument and I grabbed his sweater and we fell down the steps. That's where the bruising came from on my face. Everything. I didn't even want her to call the police. I told her I didn't want nobody involved, and she went against my wishes anyway. So I would like to say this is a false report. And can these charges be dropped, please? He didn't do anything wrong. He's not supposed to be in there.
Are you and Mr. Mitchell together at the present time?
Yes, that's my fiance.
Okay. And this allegedly happened back in November of last year. Has anything else happened since that time?
No. Well, we have a wedding day coming up soon. This is just kind of out of the blue, you know.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Colbert.
Thank you.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mitchell is 39 years old, and also he is a full caretaker for his grandmother, who is 79 years old. So it's very important for him to be released so he can take care of his grandmother, who is very ill. Your Honor, as completing witness said, it was her sister who was not even there. That one was okay. But anyway, they do not have any children together. They have been living together happily ever after. And Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond. My client has 4 children, and 3 of them are still minors, and does pay a lot of child support. So he's working as an independent contractor after graduating from high school. After deducting child support, he does qualify for public defender services because he's barely making a living with his 3 children. Your Honor, we ask for a signature on bond and no further violent contact.
Each charge will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. Makes for a total of a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. No further violent contact with Ms. Colbert. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Position 2, Ms. Beckton.
Good afternoon, Ms. Beckton. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002394G with battery family violence. Is there a history, Stolen?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 4 cycles total, 3 from the state of Arizona. There's a 2019 NOLO from Gwinnett for driving while license suspended or revoked, 2006 violation of promise to appear, and an 09 assault conviction, and there's an 08 FTA out of Arizona. The recommended level is level 1.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. We're fine with the $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with conditions no further contact with Arian Washington. And I do believe they live together. So the victim is the defendant's daughter. So the daughter brought a boy into the home, so the defendant demanded that she leave. After the victim refused, the defendant grabbed her by her arm, grabbed her by the face, leaving scratch marks and redness all over her face. We were not able to speak with this victim. If we could sound for Miss Washington.
If Ms. Washington's on the
So,
line and
she was
wishes to.
arrested, Judge. She's on today's calendar.
Oh, okay. She's on the calendar today?
Yes. Warrington is the name.
And I just NOD'd that case.
Correct. And that had nothing to do with this incident, correct, Miss Evans Battle? Yeah.
Correct. That was a separate sibling issue.
Okay, so Ms. Pinto, I guess the question is, do you have any objection to the signature bond through pretrial level 1 and the no further violent contact?
No, Judge.
Okay, as such, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further violent contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Beckton.
And then we got 21, Seaborn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Seaborn. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002374B with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
Your Honor, there are 2 cycles total. There's a 2020 conviction, 19 CR 007253A for theft of service and obstruction of law enforcement officers. And there's a 2020 FTA from Fulton County. The recommended level is UJR jail.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. Our bond recommendation is for a $1,200 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. This situation was he was at the Adamsville Green Senior Apartments. He's been told to stay away from there. They told him to leave that day. He wouldn't. So he was arrested. That location to stay away is 3537 MLK Junior Drive, Southwest. We'd also ask that he have a social worker visit for housing resources before he leaves the jail. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, we have no objection to a signature on bond. However, that location, my client has been residing there as a resident. He did have a lease. If they want him to be evicted, they should go through the magistrate court for eviction process, not putting him in a jail like this as a criminal trespass. He does have a lease. He resides there. He wants to go back home, Your Honor.
Ms. Evans Battle, do you have any indication that he lives at this? Are they senior apartments? I mean, he's a young man to be living at. I don't know if they're senior apartments or just named senior apartments, or if they're for seniors.
Let me just look a little bit further at the warrant, but I didn't get the impression that he was a resident there because they've indicated they've told him numerous times before to leave the premises. Is he staying with a grandparent or someone?
Does he have a lease?
Do you have a lease? He says he has a lease. Hopefully we can provide the copy of it as soon as he gets released.
Well, I'm gonna keep him from going there. I'll allow him to go back there on one occasion with law enforcement. If he can produce a lease, then he can stay there. If he can't produce a lease, then he's gonna have to find someplace else to go. So it will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. the police escort. If he has a lease, he can stay there. If he doesn't, he's going to have to gather his belongings and find someplace else to stay. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next is position 17, Ms. Malloy.
Good afternoon, Ms. Malloy. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002367B with simple assault and simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Stoller?
Yes, Your Honor. She has 9 prior arrests, currently on probation for case number 22 SC 183231 for aggravated assault. There's a 2022 conviction for battery, family violence, first offense, and there are 3 convictions outside of the 10-year period, 1 and 13 for ag assault and possession of firearm or knife during commission, 1 and 13 for terroristic threats, and the 05 is theft by receiving stolen property and driving with expired license, recommended level 2.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, this happened April the 11th at 1483 Arthur Langford Jr. Place Southwest. The victim in this case is Nikita Davis, and she indicated that Miss Malloy came to her home to complain about the noise. There were children in the household that were playing. She came up to the door. She spit on the victim in this case, and then they started to fight. And the victim indicated that she drug her down the hallway and that there were probably lacerations to the knees of Miss Malloy as a result of that. She was trying to get her away from her door where her children were. The event was broken up by security as well as Miss Davis's sister, whose name is Nyla Ruffin. Miss Malloy, she told Miss Malloy that the situation was over with and to leave. Miss Malloy came back with a knife and stood at the apartment. They saw the knife, and the victim and her sister ran back into the apartment and called the police at that time. Our bond recommendation is for a $2,500 surety for each. So for each count, it would be $5,000 total, and no further contact with Nikita Davis or Nyla Ruffin. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. I believe she has an apartment in that building, but she is to stay away from the apartment of Miss Davis and her sister. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Miss Malloy is 45 years old. She's lived in Atlanta her entire life. She has 3 children, ages 28, 26, and 18. And she also cares for her elderly father, who has dementia and seizures. Her whole family lives in Georgia. Miss Malloy went to the 11th grade. She also has epilepsy and is scheduled to have surgery on her brain in 2 weeks. So we're certainly hoping to get her out before then. The alleged victim in this case is her upstairs neighbor. She's okay with no contact and just staying away from that specific unit, but she would need to be able to return to her home. Pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 2, and that's what we would ask for. Miss Malloy cannot work due to her health condition, so she's very low income. If the court's not inclined to do a signature bond, we would just ask that it be as low as possible.
All right, for each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victims. Stay away from the incident location or the residence of the alleged victims. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
And that 27, Mr. Williams.
And this is Bobby Williams. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Williams. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002380E with battery. Is there a history?
Your Honor, he has 29 cycles total. There's an active warrant out of Fulton County for probation violation. Date of that warrant is July the 17th of 2025. There's a 2018 conviction for battery, 16 CR 014026A. There's a 2016 conviction, 15 SC 135648 for criminal attempt to commit a felony. There are 12 convictions outside of the 10-year period. He's currently on probation for battery, case number 25 CR 004095E. Also on probation for aggravated battery and aggravated assault. That case number is 21 SC 178371. There's an open case out of Macon for battery and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. There's a 2021 conviction for sexual battery and another 2021 conviction for battery. There is a 2021 FTA out of Fulton, 2018, 2014, 2011, and 1999. There was no recommended level.
Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened April the 11th. The victim in the case is Alfonso Black. He indicated that he was just walking down the street on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Washington Street, and Mr. Williams was near a trash can. He just came out and suddenly hit him. He hit him so hard that he cut his mouth, and as a result, the officers were able to file this charge. You've heard his significant history, and even the case that he's currently on, that 25 CR case that she mentioned earlier. These cases indicate they are stranger cases. They're not anybody that he knows. There's nothing that they've done to him to provoke the situation. So he's had that contact. Magistrate set bond at $10,000 as a surety bond, and we would actually ask the court that it remain the same. We would ask also that he see a social worker regarding mental health. I'm pretty sure that if we look back or are able to look at his probation terms, it would probably indicate he's supposed to be in treatment. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Have no contact further with Mr. Alfonso Black. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams is 51 years old. He has been residentially challenged at least last 5 months, Your Honor. He was born and raised here in Georgia. I do agree with a social worker visit for his housing and VHET, and he has not been able to keep any job. He has been unemployed minimum for about a year. After 9th grade, he completed his GED, and yet he does have no income at this point. And we ask for the lowest possible surety bond. No matter what he gets, it's gonna be no bond to him. Even $1 cash might become no bond to him. So we ask for maximum $1,000 surety bond and VAPT. Thank you.
Okay, will be a $5,000 good bond, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. No further contact with Mr. Black. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 20, Miss Randolph.
Good afternoon, Ms. Randolph. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002372G with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stoller?
Your Honor, he has 3 cycles total, 1 from the state of New York. There are no convictions listed, and the recommended level is UJR jail.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. This happened April the 7th, in which Jerry Tevis, Tevis, is the victim in the case. This location was 1837 Stanton Road, in which he pulled his arms multiple and caused multiple scratches. The victim indicated that they were drinking together, and this had something to do with the argument. Probably was part of the causation for the argument. Indicated that Ms. Randolph did leave the location for a cooling off point, and when she returned, there was the officers were there and the police had been called. Our bond recommendation is for a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, no further violent contact, complete 3 anger awareness classes, and an ADET, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you.
Mr. Tevis, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. You certainly do not have to, but if you would like to, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I will swear you in.
Trying to, I don't know how. Let me start my video.
All right.
Okay.
If you
I
raise
just
your
want
right,
to say,
hold on, Mr. Tevis. Raise your right hand
okay.
for me. Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to tell the court?
I just, it's this shouldn't have happened, and I feel bad that it happened, and it shouldn't have, but I think that it was just a situation where we started drinking, and it's a lot of stuff going on, people packing rumors, and I think that just got the best of us both. She's normally not like that. She's a very good woman. I love her to death, and I have no interest in trying to pursue this and trying to get in no trouble or wasting the court's time. I just want her to be able to come home and we work this out and do the things that we're supposed to do, and just just do right by each other.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Mr. Tevis. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Miss Randolph is 67 years old. She's resided in Atlanta for 21 years. She has an associate's degree in information technology. She's now retired. She indicates that she was acting in self-defense in this case. And as noted by pretrial, she has no convictions. Pretrial recommended a signature bond through the jail, which we would ask for as well. I just want to confirm the incident location because I just want to make sure it's not her house.
Well, they have not asked for a stay away, and
Okay,
they
well
asked for
then
no further violent contact, so.
that would be fine, Judge.
All right, as such, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further violent contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused, please?
Yes, we'll see you next time. Thank you, Officer
Yes,
Nelson.
sir.
Let's get number 5, Mr. Crouch.
Good afternoon, Mr. Crouch. You have been charged in case 26CR002390Y with 2 counts of battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 3 prior arrests. There is an open case 25 PI 002462 for aggravated assault and possession of firearm or knife during commission. The recommended level is level 2.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge, you heard he's got that pending aggravated assault that is against a different victim. But between that and what we've discussed with the victim, we are asking for a $3,000 cash bond on both of the battery family violence charges for a $6,000 total cash on Well, we're asking for a split bond. 6,000 cash on both battery, family violence, and $1,500 good on the cruelty to children. These facts alleged the victim and the defendant were living together. They do not have children together, but they both have children. The victim let us know this defendant was intoxicated at the time. A fight broke out at the location where they were, and she didn't notice it, which is why the defendant wanted her to grab his son. But she was looking for her son, who's autistic, and she just felt that he could look out for his own son. When they got home, their argument broke out over that incident. Um, and that's when the defendant just began wailing on her with her 2-year-old son present and awake during the whole thing. She does say he strangled her twice. We did the strangulation assessment. We are looking to upgrade this as an aggravated assault strangulation. But at the current time, it's charged just as battery family violence. The victim said there is a history of violence. She's called the police on the defendant at least 3 times before, and he's been physically violent at least 4 times before, including strangling her in her past. So this victim would like him to have as high of a cash bond as he could get. We are asking for 3,000 on each of the battery family violence. That's 6,000 cash and then a split bond with 1,500 good on the cruelty in the third. Um, the victim and the defendant, they do live together, but the defendant has changed all the codes and the locks, so she cannot get in the home. She's also been getting harassed by his family, specifically the mother. So we'd like you to make clear no further contact means not even contact through a third party. This victim did let us know she'd be on Zoom and she does want to speak if Elise Kroll is here.
Ms. Kroll, I see you. If you'd like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to come on camera for me.
It's telling me it's unable to start my camera. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. If you raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
That I'm fine with the no contact order. I just want to be able to get the rest of me and my son's stuff, and we will never ever see these people again. I do have a TPO being placed as well. We have to go to court for that. But yeah, y'all do not ever have to worry about us contacting each other beyond me getting me and my child's stuff that they're refusing about me to get at this point.
Okay. Are you living at that residence at the present time?
No, sir. I moved my stuff out. I moved out 5 months ago after the first incident when he spit on us and stuff like that. So we were just really over there, just in limbo. But all of my stuff, most of my stuff is in storage. But the clothes that we had over there, all my baby's toys, everything that he just got from his birthday party are still in his home.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am.
And
Ms. Tucker, you have something?
yes, Miss Kroll, I hope I am not embarrassing you. Judge, you can see the cut still on her lip or on her forehead. You can see the redness still in her eye. This incident just happened yesterday, and I mean, you can see it. Those injuries.
Okay. Thank you again, Ms. Kroll. I appreciate you being here. Good luck to you, ma'am.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yes, Ms. Pinto.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Crouch is 34 years old. He's lived in Atlanta his entire life. He has 3 minor children, ages 3, 8, and 11, that he shares custody of. His whole family is here in Georgia. He did do some college at Atlanta Technical, so he has very strong ties to the community. He also has a number of businesses, including a transportation business and a dock truck business, and he's started a 501c3 as well. The alleged victim in this case, he's okay with a no contact order. They don't live together, he reports. Pre-trial did recommend a signature bond at level 2. And that's what we would ask for. I would note that he has no previous convictions. So I think a signature bond would be appropriate in this case.
Okay, for each battery charge will be a $2,000 good bond. For the cruelty, $1,000 good bond makes for a total of a $5,000 good bond. I want him to begin the family violence intervention program. No further contact with Ms. Kroll. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Crouch, no contact means absolutely no contact. Obviously, no personal contact, no internet contact, no email, no phone, no third party contact, no contact whatsoever. If you attempt to contact Ms. Kroll, you'll be in violation of this bond and it can be revoked. Good luck to you, sir.
25, Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Walker. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002391J with simple battery against a police officer and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Dalworth?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 7 cycles total, 1 from the state of Tennessee. He's currently on probation out of DeKalb County for simple assault. There's a 2024 conviction for disorderly conduct. There's a 2022 conviction out of Forsyth County for criminal trespass, and another 2022 conviction also out of Forsyth for criminal trespass. There's an open case from Georgia Tech for criminal trespass. The recommended level is level 3, and he was on the RAP services list this morning.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, this incident happened April the 10th. He was at the World of Coca-Cola located at 121 Baker Street Northwest. He has been asked to leave the property numerous times, including this time as well. The security officer, Cynthia Brewer, was the officer working on duty that particular day. He grabbed her and attempted to hit her and did, in fact, I guess he grabbed her and attempted to hit her. And he was charged accordingly for that, as well as the criminal trespass. The bond recommendation is for a surety bond in the amount of $6,000, $5,000 for the simple battery on a police officer, and $1,000 for the criminal trespass for a $6,000 surety. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Stay away from the location, World of Coca-Cola at 121 Baker Street Northwest. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Your Honor, Mr. Walker is 29 years old and he has been here in Georgia all his life. Ever since 2021, he has been residentially challenged, Your Honor. He does have his father's phone number, so I was trying to reach him, but I was not able to reach his father. Your Honor, I recommend him to go to have a visit with a social worker for housing resources and DHET. This incident happened. He says it was a State Farm Arena, not World of Coca-Cola. And Your Honor, he graduated from high school and then he went to college at Arizona. And ever since 2021, he also claims that he served in military, Your Honor. He does not have any employment. I believe that he does need some help. And any bond will be basically no bond to him. So we ask for the lowest possible bond, like $500 surety bond for each, and then $1,000 total. Thank you.
Okay, for the simple battery, it will be a $1,500 good bond. For the criminal trespass, a $500 good bond makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. A social worker visit for VHET and housing. Stay away from the World of Coke on Baker Street. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
right. 24, Mr. Townsend.
Good afternoon, Mr. Townsend. You have been charged in case 26CR002377L with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 7 cycles from the state of Florida. No convictions listed. Recommended level 1.
Servants Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. Our bond recommendation is for a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1, complete 3 anger awareness classes, no further contact, and stay away from the 1498 Acreage Street Northwest if the victim still is living in that location. Douglas Kettleborn is the victim, and I believe he indicated that he woke to a loud noise and saw Mr. Townsend may have been moving out of the residence or the housing that they're in, and asked him, what are you doing? Are you leaving, or what's going on? And then Mr. Townsend grabbed him, wrestled him against a wall, causing him to fall. He was bruised on his right elbow and a cut to the finger. And that was why he was arrested. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
Mr. Kettleborn is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Townsend, is 40 years old. And Your Honor, we have no objection to $3,000 signature on bond through level 1. He has been experiencing financial challenges, but he is trying really hard to have his life all together. Yesterday was his last day. The lease expired yesterday, so he was packing up to move out. So he will not be going back to that location. So we have no objection to stay away. Oh, except one time, law enforcement officer visited to retrieve his personal belongings and his car. Other than that, he has no intention to stay there. We have no objection to no contact either. They are just rooming houses, residents. They don't work together. They don't have to live together, Your Honor. And my client has one child, and he pays a lot of child support for him. And he's been here in Georgia for the last 8 years. After getting GED, he has been going to pharmacy tech, and he also is going to become personal trainer for sports. He plays basketball and he volunteers at the local area to teach basketballs to other challenging young students, Your Honor. He was working at FedEx, but he recently got a job which was starting today, Monday, but he probably will be losing their job. So we asked for a signature on bond. He's very healthy, no addiction, no mental health situation. He's just having financial challenges that he is trying to overcome, Your Honor. We would like to request for one more chance for him to get back up.
Okay, will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Kettleborn. Stay away from the Acreage Street address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Townsend.
Thank you. All right, number 11, Mr. Higgins.
Good afternoon, Mr. Higgins. You've been charged in case 26CR002384A with simple battery. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 17 cycles total, 15 from the state of Illinois, 1 from Missouri, and 1 from Texas. There's a 2020 unlawful possession of weapon by felon and aggravated unlawful weapon on person. There's a 2020, also for the same charges. There's an active warrant out of Texas for an FTA. Date of that warrant is January the 24th of 2017. There is an open case out of Texas for possession of dangerous drug, and there are 4 convictions outside of the 10-year period. The recommended level is level 3.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Diamond Griffin and to stay away from 1070 Hardscrabble Road in Roswell. The victim and the defendant were dating. They were not living together. And when the victim exited her apartment into the hallway, she saw her boyfriend. She doesn't know how he got there, but he was upset with her for not answering her texts or her calls. So he started arguing with her. He grabbed her by the shirt and threw her to the ground. You did hear that history. He's got history out of 3 other states. Texas, he never returned to answer to that charge. He doesn't have any other history in Georgia, so I'm not sure what ties they're about to say that he has with Georgia. But we are very concerned about a flight risk. We have not been able to get in contact with Miss Griffin. If we could sound for her, but otherwise we're asking for that $1,500 good bond, no further contact, and to stay away.
Ms. Griffin is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Higgins, is 38 years old, Your Honor, and I believe that, give me 1 minute. They live together, but they don't have any child together, Your Honor. This happened on March 30, 2026. It has been enough time to cool off from that incident date, and I believe they're still together. My client has been here in Georgia for about 2 years. He does have a child that he's paying a child support, and he graduated from high school 2005. After that, he went to college for a year. He's working at warehouse and he does a lot of forklift operation. However, at this point, he has been unemployed. So because of that, he's qualified for public defender services, and he does not have extra income to pay for his bond. So we ask for a signature on bond through pretrial level 3. He is willing to do whatever it takes to work and pay for his child. And I believe they don't have issues anymore. So we ask for no further violent contact. And yet I do understand that she has not been here. So we will understand whatever the Your Honor orders. He will he will abide by that as long as it is a signature on bond. Thank you.
Okay, it will be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on 1 occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Can you please share us 10%, please?
Fine with the court.
Thank you.
26, Mr. Wilburn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilburn. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002378G with simple assault, family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Your Honor, he has 20 cycles total. There is 1 from the state of South Carolina. There's a 2021 conditional discharge out of Jackson County for possession of a Schedule 1, a 2019 conviction out of Catoosa County for forgery 3rd degree, 2015 Covington Municipal criminal trespass, a 2015 first offender from Richmond County for forgery 3rd degree, and a 2023 case from Fulton 21 CR 003724F for a fray. The recommended level is level 2. He was on the RAP services list this morning, and he has a 2023 FTA out of Fulton and a 2016 FTA from Lawrenceville Municipal. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. This case happened at 11230 Dolphin Drive Southwest. The victim is Contarius Hannon, who is the intimate partner of Mr. Wilburn. And it appeared that there was some dispute between the parties, and Mr. Hannon actually wanted Mr. Wilburn to leave the property. He contended that he wasn't supposed to have been living there because he is in a programmed housing unit. But Mr. Wilburn indicated to the officers he had been living there since November. They were arguing, and Mr. Wilburn did at some point in time leave the apartment, saying that he was going to get his uncle and cousin and come back. But he came back alone and had a knife with him. And Mr. Hannon was able to take a photograph for the office to show he was, in fact, holding a knife at the door, and that he was concerned for his safety as a result of that. So he was charged with simple assault for blocking the entrance to the door and holding the knife. Our bond recommendation in this case is for a $5,000 surety bond, no further contact, stay away from the residence location at the 11230 Dolphin Drive Southwest. We would ask that the court order that there be some form of maybe a social worker visit for MH issues, or he may have already met with someone today. He is on my list of referrals to look at. So I would ask that that happen and there be no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
Mr. Hampton is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Wilburn, is 33 years old. I believe this is the program where he resides from like a nonprofit organization is allowing him to have a housing there. And it is him who is registered as a program. He does not want to lose it. And without that program, he has been residentially challenged and he has no other place to go to. At this point, he does not have any job because of his disability, and yet he is not able to get Social Security income from the disability because it is still pending and having difficult time. After 10th grade, he has been having very challenging time. He would like to request for signature on bond so he can return back to his program. And we agree with the visit for other housing resources and BHET.
So this Dolphin Drive address, does he live there with Mr. Hammond?
So Mr. Bill has to be there.
Say it again?
It's my client who has a program there. It's like you have to be approved to be there. And Miss Hannah was visiting. She does not reside there.
Oh, okay. Ms. Evans Battle,
It's a he, and she's correct. I misread it. It is Mr. Wilburn's location.
As such, it will be $1,000 good bond, a social worker visit to assess for a BHET and housing, no further contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Wilburn.
Maybe 10%, please, Your Honor.
Yes, that's fine, Ms. Kim.
All right, we go to the waive cases. Here we go, number 8.
Okay, so position number 4, Lorenzo Brown, that's a waiver?
Now he's a medical reset.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, MH reset, and that'll be for the 15th. Position number 8, Neville Grant.
Yes, Mr. Grant waived his presence.
Okay, he's charged in case 26 CR 0023887E with driving while license suspended or revoked. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 17 cycles, 1 from Florida, 2 from Massachusetts. There are 4 convictions outside of the 10-year period. In 07, driving with license suspended or revoked out of Clayton. In 04, resist or obstruction without violence and no valid driver's license out of Florida. In 01, giving false name, purchase, possession, manufacture, distribution, or sale of marijuana from the city of Atlanta. In a 2000, disorderly conduct. There's an FTA in 2000 out of East Point, and the recommended level was UJR jail.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge. We're asking for $1,000 good bond. The facts: officers responded to a 2-car accident. The defendant didn't cause the accident, but he was found to have a suspended license since the year 2000. 2000. So he's had ample time to get his license straight. And for that reason, we're asking for the $1,000 good bond.
All right, if it's okay with you, Ms. Pinto, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. No driving without a valid license. No
Yes,
drugs,
Judge.
alcohol, weapons while out on bond. That suits you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. The next in line would be position 19, Lamar Poss. Is that a waiver as well?
He's a waiver.
He is,
Okay.
sir.
So he was charged in case 26 CR 0023559E with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. 45 cycles total. Currently on probation for robbery out of Fulton. 21 SC 179246. There's a 2026 NOLO from Clayton County for criminal trespass. A 2024 out of Fulton for theft by shoplifting and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Also on probation, case number 25 CR 006838E, theft by shoplifting, battery, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. There is an open case out of Dunwoody for disorderly conduct. There are 3 cases from 2017 that he's on probation for from Fulton, all robbery, and there are 8 convictions outside of the 10-year period. The recommended level is level 3. He was on the RAP services list this morning. There's a 2026 FTA out of Dunwoody, a 2022 out of Fulton, and 4 outside of the 10-year period. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, this happened April the 10th. He was at the location of a Dunkin' Donuts at 682 Boulevard Northeast. And the store manager indicated that he was the same person that they had called for the day before on the 9th, and he was criminal trespassed at that time, told not to come back onto the property, and he was there, and they arrested him this time. In light of his history, we are asking for a surety bond in the amount of $600. I think that's what's already said, and we just ask that it remain the same. Thank you.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection. Mr. Post is 39 years old. He has been residentially challenged for more than 5 years. And I believe his case should be reset to competency calendar, 11 a.m. Definitely, I will recommend him for a social worker visit for BHET, but definitely he is Paul Batel's client.
Okay. Ms. Bridgewater, I believe that the comp calendar following April 28th would be April 30th. Can we get him, place him on that competency calendar?
Yes, sir, we will.
Okay, thank you. So we'll leave the bond where it is, $600 good bond, the social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. Stay away from that Dunkin' Donuts, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And placed on the April 30th comp calendar. Let's see, I believe the last one is position 28, Tyrone Williams. Is that also a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, he was charged in case 26 CR 002382C with willful obstruction of law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Stallworth?
Yes, Your Honor. 4 cycles total. In open case 25 CR 001936C for violating violating family violence protective order, and 08 conviction for DUI, and the recommended level is level 2.
Thank you, Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, that open case was an aggravated stalking that was transferred down to us from the felony division. The victim in that case is different. But in this case, it appears that he is surveilling Melissa Mitchell. The person who actually called the police in this case was her employer, Joshua Height. On April the 10th, he was at the Village Street and 17th Street Northwest, that corner there. She was working there as an artist. She's painting murals and had some paint there. And it appeared as if those items had been taken. Mr. Williams showed up on the property and he was being irate with her, being there without her permission. He indicated that he had texted her and he told her she better, he popped up and told her to respond to his text messages. She found that her property had been destroyed and her paint was missing. She believed that he had done so. So that was one of the reasons why the police were called. She indicated that she'd known him for 15 years and he came back to the Atlanta area about a year ago. And since that time, he has been doing this calling, texting, trying to get a hold of her, showing up where she's at, where she thinks that he's at. Officers were trying to investigate the situation, determine whether or not they were going to arrest him. He refused to stop, started walking away, resisting any attempts to be arrested. As a result, he received injury to his forehead and knees, and the officer actually received injury as a result of this to her knee, even though she charged this as a misdemeanor offense for him. We are asking for a surety bond in the amount of $5,000. We're asking for a social worker visit for MH. As well, that he have no contact with Melissa Mitchell or Joshua Height and stay away from that location there where she's working at, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
So they didn't arrest him for anything other than the obstruction.
They ended up not arresting him for anything but the obstruction. I don't see any charges that were filed. I really looked, but I didn't see any.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams is 43 years old, Your Honor. He does have a housing and phone numbers. He also has a contact information, emergency contact. He's his sister. We asked for a signature on bond through a pretrial level 2. That's what he is recommended for. And he says there were like 6 other people who were involved in. I don't know why he believes that he was kind of like a pinned out because some people know about him or his past is kind of prejudicing against him. We would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial level 2. We have no objection to social worker visit with housing resources and all that BHET. However, he has no funds to pay for any bonds at this point. Thank you.
Ms. Evans Battle, where do you want him to stay away from?
Your Honor, they gave this is, I guess, a corner store where the mural is being painted, but the only address that was given in the warrant was Village Street at the intersection of Village Street and 17th Street Northwest.
All right. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, social worker visit to assist with housing if necessary, and a BHET. No further contact with Ms. Mitchell. Stay away from that Village Street and 17th Street area. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, can the social worker visit be done after he gets out of the jail? He does have a phone number that we can reach out to.
Does he have a place to reside at the present time, Ms. Kim?
1250 Clearbrook Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia 30311. Yes.
Okay, so then he doesn't need a social worker visit for housing then, and the BHET will be fine if he receives it while he is out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I believe that completes the 2 o'clock calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready for us.
Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 28th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 3, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 4 is being reset to Wednesday, April 15th. 5 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $5,000 good bond. 6, SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 7, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 9, reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through the jail. 10, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 11 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 12, SAP calendar with a $100 cash bond. 13 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 14, SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 15 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 16 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 17 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 18 is reset further notice with a total $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 19 is going to the comp calendar on April 30th with a $600 good bond. 20 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 21, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 22, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 23, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 24, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 25 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. 26, SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 27, SAP calendar with a $5,000 good bond. And 28 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Sorry, I have one question. Who should I send the waiver of presence to?
To my attention, Holly Bridgewater.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any others?
Yes, hello?
Yes.
Yes, I was trying to find out, did you guys call Neville Grant's name already?
We did.
Okay. I'm sorry. Is he, what was the solution? This is his son.
Okay, he has a $3,000 signature bond through the jail.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any others?
Nothing further from defense.
Okay, if not, you all have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next week.
Okay,
Okay.
take care.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.